Today, I want to do a video on the image of black man. This video serves as a follow-up to the video I did before in regards to John Morant. And the video is still on the channel. It's still on the channel. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Because in that video, I spoke on the responsibilities that we as a community have in regards to our into the upbringing of our youth. You know, I made 3 or 4 videos about John Morant, and I spoke about his response to his responsibility or accountability of the mistakes he had made. I also made another video on his father. I made a video about his father being responsible for not only the behavior of John Morant, but also his family. Because, you know, it's not just John Morant, it's also his mother and the father himself. And I explained in that video that because you are the leader of that family and you're engaging in bad behaviors, they're going to follow suit. But I also made a video, which is the reason why I made this video, because it is the follow up to my last video. In that last video, I explained how the community had a responsibility of what John Morant did. Now, I know a lot of people watched that video didn't understand what I was coming from, because almost like as if you watch it, I'm saying things as if it's everybody else's fault. So I know they didn't understand exactly what I was saying. That's probably why I didn't get enough viewers to watch that video. But this video is going to be a follow-up. Because in this video, I'm going to explain how the community has affected the behaviors of not just John Morant, but other young black men and black girls. Well, let me correct that. Not just John Morant, but other black men and other black women. This video is going to serve that purpose. Because what I have done in this video is I have placed visuals. And as you can see here, all the other photos are just like it, because it's all movie it's all movie pictures of the movies that we as a culture watch, we support, we finance. These are the movies where we will watch, and in some cases we'll watch over and over and over again as if there's nothing else to watch on TV. Now, when you look at these photos of these movies, they all have something in common. They all have something in common. And I'm going to talk about the commonalities. For one, look at the storyline. It's the same storyline. You have a kid trying to make it out the ghetto, and they're going through the hardships of not only trying to take responsibility of themselves or look out for themselves, but they also have to look out for their family. Because you either got a mother that's working, a mother who's just not there, or a mother that's on drugs. And it's the same thing with the fathers. And in most cases, in these storylines, the fathers are nowhere to be seen. And if they are seen, they're on drugs. Now you have these young boys that's surrounded by other boys who are gang affiliated. If they're not gang affiliated, they're selling drugs. They're out there shooting at each other, sleeping with every female they see that cross their path. And it's the same thing with these women. It's the same thing with these women. You have these women that's out there taking care of their families by themselves. They're struggling. They're trying to make it, and they have to go out there and do extra things that are out of the ordinary in order to achieve some economic status to where they can live the good life. You know, they got to help the Negro sell drugs. They're sleeping around with different men. They're stripping. There's plenty of scenes in these movies where you have these young black boys, these young black girls. I'm talking about young adults now. They're in these. There's a lot of movies where there are scenes where they're in strip clubs. The boys throwing out money. The girls are sitting there dancing half naked. Now, there's a saying that is well known in the entertainment industry, and that is the art imitating life. This is what you will hear in the entertainment industry. Art imitates life. They say it in movies. Well, they say it in the movie industry. They say it in the music industry, especially when it comes to hip hop. Art imitates life. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because and it is simple. When you hear that, what they're saying is they're saying that they are creating storylines, images. They're creating visuals. They're writing stories in which is almost the everyday life of the common folk of who they're engaging in, who they're targeting. So now that I said that, we have to look at this. If you have these movies, and in the movie industry they're saying that art imitates life, that means that these movies are based on the life of the community. Well, with the amount of movies that's out there, you can pretty much say that they're creating a narrative that you can go to any black community, any community that's predominantly black, and this is what you're going to see. The actions that I've just explained about the men and the women, that's exactly what you're going to see. Now I could have put more photos out into this video. It could have been a lot more photos could have put into this video, but I mean, it got to a point to where I was like, you know what, that's too much goddamn cutting and editing. Because a lot of these photos are movies. I could have made photos. I think I got a couple of them, but it's just like TV shows on cable. But I didn't add like the shows like Love and Hip Hops. I didn't add those into it, which I should have. As a matter of fact, I think I might just add that right before I upload this video. But these are the type of visuals that our young boys and girls see every damn day. This is what they see every day. This is what they're surrounded by. Now, yes, a lot of these movies are based on what goes on into the streets of the ghetto. I understand that. But let me let you know right now, and I said this over and over in my other videos. I wasn't raised in no ghetto. But at the same time, I wanted to see people I can relate to, who I can relate to. In other words, when I watch entertainment, I want to get entertainment from people who I can relate to, who I look like. Who I, at some point, I'm more than likely to engage with. And because of that, I would look at movies of black culture. Now, remind you, I wasn't raised in the ghetto. But after seeing so many movies of what goes on out there, I started to get brainwashed to a point to where I was saying to myself, I'm not trying to go into those type of areas. I'm not even trying to deal with those type of people. I'm not dealing with that mess. I mean, almost every movie is the same damn thing. And if this is the same thing, art imitates life, I'm not even trying to go near that. But see, at the same time, you have other black boys and black girls out there that's in the same boat I was in. They're growing up in the same environments I grew up in. But at the same time, their thought process is different. Because see, when they see these types of visuals, they think or believe that they're supposed to be that way. They believe that that's what they're supposed to do. What they see is what they're supposed to do to fit in. And that was the point I was trying to get at with my other video about Ja Morant. When it came down to his behaviors are a result of what the black community promotes. That's pretty much what I was trying to say. And if you're sitting here watching this video and you don't think that you're part of the problem, then I have to question that in itself. I have to give you the side eye. Because you're more than likely the individual that supports this type of narratives that the entertainment industry pushes. You're more likely to watch these movies. You're more likely to watch the TV shows out there. You're more likely to go buy the music that's similar to what these TV shows and movies create visuals off of. you're more likely to do that. Because at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. And why am I saying that is because, hell, I watch a lot of these movies. Now, if you don't I mean, you might not buy them, but just by watching them, you're promoting that. You're promoting it. And regardless of how you support it, it all plays into you participating in the destructive images that is being pushed out. Now you have to understand, this also creates like other problems in the long run, because it's not just you watching these movies. You have to understand, at some point it comes across everybody's TVs. Now you will have other people from other cultures that might not like this because they can't relate to it, so they're just gonna bypass it. But at the same time, you have folks out there that, and I mentioned this before, you will have individuals out there that never been around black people, and they'll have no other option but to learn from what they see. And when they see this, I mean, and they see this, they're gonna question this. Like, why would I want to know them? And because they never met a black man or a black woman, they're gonna learn from what they see on these movies or these visuals, and then you as a black person wants to know why you have racism still going on. Stuff like this influences racism. And the reason why I'm saying stuff like this is because there's many other factors into racism, but this is one of them. You creating your own image of just degrading, disturbing, just downright ignorant behaviors. You create this. And the thing is that, again, the topic of the video is the images of black men. And I'm saying black men because, again, black men are supposed to be the leaders of the community. Just like other races of men are the communities of, like, the leaders of their community. This is what you have. But when you look at these visuals, I want you to look at these visuals and what you see in these pictures. The way you see these black men portray themselves in these pictures, you can see what type of leader you have in your community. And you wonder why we are the laughingstock of the world. I'm talking about black men. This is the reason why we're the laughingstock. Now you will have some people out there, some black people, some black men out there, they'll try to give me pushback off this video, and they'll be like, well, you know, white people, they make the same type of movies too. But okay, I got it. But at the same time, let's be fair, because yeah, white people also make the same type of movies too. When I say white people, white men. Chinese people make the same type of movies. Chinese men make the same type of movies too. I get this. Hispanics the same damn way. I understand this. But god damn it, majority of the black movies are just like this. The majority. I mean, hell, even if when you look at Tyler Perry films, those films are supposed to be the most friendly films in black entertainment. And even in those films, there's some dysfunctions going on. There's dysfunction going on between the relationship of the man and the woman. So again, majority of our movies are like this. Now his like Tyler Perry's movies, they don't have no violence in it like this. They don't have like sex like this. That's why they're family friendly. That's why those movies are completely supported by Hollywood. But when you look at the storylines of those movies, there's dysfunction between the man and the woman, which is actually another piece of the problem of the black community. It's art imitating life. So again, this is you, black man. Y'all the ones who set the tone. Y'all the ones that set the tone. If you wonder why you have black women talking to black men crazy, they talking to black men sideways, they talking to black men as if they're man themselves, is because of the fact that black men push that in these movies. If you wonder why you have men out there that want to engage in thuggish nature, you got men out there that want to make these movies or make these songs about being thugs, about killing folks, about selling product out there in the streets. It's because why? Because you man, y'all push that type of promotion. Y'all promote those narratives. It's art imitating life. This is what you have. This is exactly what you have. Y'all have to excuse me, man, because every fucking body wants to park right next to me. This shit's fucking irritating, man. I'm in a whole nother area of the parking lot. I'm in a whole nother area of the parking lot. And this parking lot is humongous. There's so many goddamn parking spots around here. And you have, for the last 10 minutes while I was talking, there's literally 3 or 4 fucking cars that passed all these empty spots and parked right next to me. Oh my god. But this is what you have. Like I don't know what y'all want. Like I don't know what else y'all want me to say. You black men create your own image. And I get it. I get it. There's a system in place. And what I mean by that is I mean that there's a system that's ran based off of economics. Because they have the money, they can do what they want. They can make the decisions, they can move the way they want to move. So I understand that. I get it. I get it that it's hard for good positive images to be pushed out because we know that there's a higher power. We know there's a higher power in place. We know that these these Hollywood companies, they're not going to put money into positive, they're not going to put money into anything that pushes out a positive light on the black culture. I get it. I understand that. I get that. But then again, when you look at certain movies out there, and there's a lot of these movies that's out there, and these movies are low budget, that means that there's no money that's really being put into those movies. But see, that's at the same time, there's a lot of those movies out there than a lot of the movies that we see in Hollywood. And because of that, you have to think smart. If you have more movies from low budget companies being pushed out there into society for everybody to see, these low budget companies have more movies being pushed out than Hollywood itself. Why don't you be strategic and take that opportunity to make movies that promotes the positive image of black men and black women? Because when you go on to like Tubi, that's all you damn see. You see these low budget ass black movies, but it's the same thing that you see in Hollywood. They're the same thing. I mean, as soon as you turn on not the only, but as soon as a lot of these movies that you see on these apps, as soon as you turn the movie on, the first scene, there's a man and a woman having sex. The first damn scene. And then there's other movies, as soon as the movies start, you got a man walking up to another man in his car or out at the park, and then he just pulls a gun out and shoots him. That's all you see. And then yet y'all be the same ones that will sit there and say, man, rap music ain't like it used to be back then. Now these kids, they come out, all they want to do is talk about some killing women and drugs. Well, I mean, that's the same thing as back then. What are you talking about? I mean, you don't want to set the tone. I mean, when you think about in the 90s, it was the height of these type of movies coming out there. It was the height of those type of music, the music that was coming out there. This type of music. It was the height of it, the 90s. So all these old people that want to sit here and talk about these young people, they're just lost and they don't have no moral compass. Y'all the ones that created that. Y'all push that out so much that when these little kids, when these not little, but when these young adults, when they were kids, that's all they see on TV. That's all they heard in music. And now they done grew up and they think they have to follow suit. And you want to complain about it. You got people on social media saying that John Morant you can't blame John Morant's father. You can't blame nobody else. It's just John Morant's fault. What? You got these women out there, these old women out there talking about these young girls, talking about all they want to do is show their ass. All they want to do is go on TikTok and Facebook and show their butt. They doing all this and it's unnecessary. What? You didn't say nothing when you were younger and you had entertainers your age at the time and they was pushing out this material. You supported it. You supported it so much to where the younger generation after you, they thought it was okay because they started seeing it all over the place. And now they're growing up and they're following suit. You want to act like you had nothing to do with it. Now, at the same time, it may seem like I'm blaming both black men and black women, which in a way I am. But again, this video is targeting the black male image. Because you black men, y'all the ones who set the tone. You set the tone. This is the reason why you have your women acting the way they do. Because all they're doing is following you. That's how nature works. Yes, women and man are two different natures, male and female. They're two different genders. They both have their own way of dealing with things based on how nature allows them to deal with it. But just like anything else, when it comes to a chain of command, your subordinates are going to follow. They're going to emulate the behaviors, the actions of their leaders. That's how it works. If you have a good leader, your subordinates, they're going to be good. If you have a bad leader, they're more likely going to be bad because they follow their leader's actions or behaviors. And this is the reason why these women are out there doing buffoonish things, because they see their man doing it. This is the reason why. This is one of the reasons why. And I'm saying one of the reasons. Because see, yesterday I did a video on narcissism. I did a video on that. But on this video, I'm talking about the image of black men, because we're the ones that set the tone. We're the ones that set the tone. And because of that, this is the reason why black women, this is one of the reasons why they treat you different from how they treat other races of man. Because this is what they see. When they look at these, when they look at what's out there. When they look at what's out there, they see men who are the opposite of black men. Because again, even though other races of man, they make the same type of material, they don't do it at the numbers we do it in. It's not prevalent the way we made it prevalent to be. When their kids turn on their TV shows, they're not going to really see girls and boys engaging in the same type of behaviors that we engage in. They're not going to see that. And because they don't see it, we don't see it. And because we don't see it, our women don't see it. So when you're sitting here trying to figure out why is it that black women, when they engage with black men or interact with black men, they interact in the most disrespectful way, but then yet when they date outside their race, they don't do that? Because that's what they see. This is what they see. You black men create your own damn image. Why, when y'all going out there and you disrespecting the shit out of each other, you're fighting each other, you're maiming each other, you're killing each other. These women are going to stand back just like everybody else stands back, and they're going to think to themselves, these men don't believe in no value with each other. They don't see any value with each other. And guess what? They're not going to have no value in us. That's how it works. That's how it works. And I don't know when y'all going to understand that. I don't know when you're going to understand that. Y'all think that coming out with content talking about your women is going to change over, is going to make the women change. No. Look, man, I'm telling you, there's so much content out there where you have these women, they have to hear man talking bad about them. You know what they do? They make the same material back to these men. And then anybody with any sense of mind will stand back and they'll be like, why are these people acting like kids? They pointing fingers at each other. They're pointing fingers at each other. If you at a park and you see kids arguing with each other and they're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then you have other kids trying to rank, they coming in trying to figure out what's going on, and yet because they can relate to the kids that's fighting, the kids, they're not listening to them. They're still going back and forth, back and forth. And it takes an adult to come in there and stop the argument. And once they stop the argument, it's over with. It's over with. So when you see black men, black women on YouTube going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, it's going to take someone to come in and say, shut the fuck up. This is what's going to take place. And I don't want to hear nothing about it. It's going to take an adult to do that. And just like those kids at the park, when they hear their adult speak, they know to shut the fuck up, because at the end of the day, they know their adult is a leader. At that point in present time, that's the adult and that's the leader. What he or she says goes. And it's the same thing with this. All this back and forth, all it takes is a man to come up here and say, you know what, this is what's going to happen. Shut the fuck up and deal with it. But you have to understand now, y'all are leaders. Y'all are leaders. So whenever you tell somebody this is going to happen, this is what's going to happen, you have to lead them in the right direction. You have to do that. And that's what a lot of these YouTubers have to do. A lot of these male YouTubers, they have to come in and say, you know what? This is what's going to happen. We know who's at fault. We got it. And what we're going to do is we're going to change up and we're going to move forward. But when you move forward, you have to move forward with some positivity. That's how it's going to work. Because those subordinates are going to follow you. I know a lot of women they probably listen to this video and saying that, well, we're not subordinates. I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. I'm not. Don't take it that way. Subordination is not a derogatory word. It's not. It's not. They use it in professional environments all the time. But I need you black men to understand. The reason why your women act the way they do is because they see you, the leaders, acting that way. That is what it is. That's what it is. Yeah, we can sit there and talk about how they have the same thought process of white man. We got that, but at the same time, you have to understand you have to take things one at a time. You have to take things one at a time. You have to understand that. Because there's so many things going on in the black community, And this is the reason why we're lost. But we're not standing back, taking the time to pick, like, to prioritize things and fix things one at a time. We're not doing that. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Subscribe to the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Peace.